What's up, guys? I haven't made a video in a bit, but I woke up today, felt like engaging with some League of Legends. Didn't really feel like playing though, so making this video. Figured this was a good video to show some core concepts for how to play mages, how to like kind of be the difference in your game as a mage. I'm ADC this game, but just with how our comp is, right? We have like full AD and I'm solo AP. I'm basically just the mid laner later. The important thing I want to focus on is how to carry as a mage by winning through team fights, because that's really, where mages shine, right? Like, mages aren't really meant to 1v1 characters for the most part. Where mages shine, and I can show this when it happens, but I'm sure this is easy to imagine. Say it's a 5v5, both teams are facing off in the mid lane or near an objective. But, people are kind of scared to go in, right? There's like, you're kind of having a staring contest. That's what I like to call it. Like, both teams are kind of just like facing off against each other. The fight has like kind of started, but not really. You're kind of like trying to position well. Assassins are trying to get into position. Tanks are trying to walk into bushes, stuff like that. People are just like trying to get to where they want to go, right? And that's when mages kind of not really have the advantage, right? Because there should be a mage on each team, but that's when the mage's skill level matters the most, I would say, because the mages are the ones that get to play the most at that time. So this game, yeah, I'm going to focus on the team fighting because I feel like that's like the most important thing to teach. I'll go through the entire game just because I don't want to miss anything, right? I feel like doing more is better than doing less, better safe than sorry. Maybe you guys want to see something. I can go through all of my thoughts, but I have so many thoughts, I'll probably miss some, to be honest. Here I walk up too far. Honestly, I thought I could just walk out here. I guess I like got minion blocked or something. My bad, obviously. I don't think I played this early lane like perfect, obviously. Again, the focus is team fights. I think like I was a very big difference maker in these team fights. Hopefully I had like a clip before the video started of team fights and how like impactful I am then. I'll go through all of my thoughts right now. For example, I have no script, but I played this game yesterday, so that's like what I'm going off of. Right now, want to scale obviously. Important thing is we see Zed on the minimap. He's nearby, right? So I don't want to give away that Zed is here, but I also kind of want to like start something as well, Because if they do all in, Zed's here, we can't lose. And now I see Zed's invading, so we want to push. Tom Kench is pushing too, because we want to push the wave in so then we can go help Zed. Pretty straightforward. You want to play with your team, of course. The good thing about mages as well is they're pretty good at helping team early, even if you don't deal that much damage. And then, don't overcommit. I walk up here because bot wave is fully pushed in, I kind of just have time to do whatever I want. I feel like we could have fought here if Pantheon just went in. He's literally full HP, but, that's okay. I was kind of tilted off that, like, why is my Pantheon just AFK mid? It's whatever, though. It's whatever. Obviously, one of the most OP parts of the strategy to win in League of Legends is to not tilt. I played this game yesterday. So yesterday, when I played this game, I was kind of just like try-harding every game I played. There I just comboed to get my passive stacks. Otherwise, I wouldn't combo there. So, I'm gonna hold this wave. When the wave is held like this, it's almost a guarantee the enemy ADC will stay, or just the enemy laner in general. Because if they do recall, then it's like, okay, well, they lost. So, when you are holding the wave like that, make sure to be careful that, they will stay, because if they don't, then you're going to win anyway. Miss your combo. Another important thing I can say about mages, obviously, you want to hit as many abilities as possible. You should focus really hard on landing abilities, because, it's like landing your abilities not optimally is the same thing as like picking Ashe and not auto attacking, you know? Like you need to focus on doing what your champion does, right? But, you know, some abilities, and you can tell even before you throw them, it's not a guarantee you'll hit them. So don't stress over missing abilities, I guess. Try to like play your best. How should I put this? You know, like for example, you miss your Syndra QE, you miss a cannon, you know, you miss a ton of Victor E's in lane. It's like, yeah, maybe you should have hit them, but don't stress too hard about it. You know, you're gonna mess up sometimes. You want to like be the best you can be, even in those games where you mess up a ton. Here, obviously, I'm in a really good spot. I press tab. I'm 40 CS. Yunar is 25. So I'm up CS, and important thing is I got Lost Chapter. For example, if I had 1,000 gold earlier, I would not have recalled. I would have just stayed. Actually, no, I probably would have. But another useful thing is, you know, if you're 100 gold off item, you know, just stay another wave to get item, you know, if you can afford to. Obviously, you don't want to grief your tempo, which is a like whole another talking point, but it's pretty OP to just focus really hard on getting your items in solo queue because there's not much teamwork. So like you griefing your tempo or something super like intangible like tempo. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. But like basically getting better items is a lot more straightforward than like having better tempo, you know? So in something like solo queue where it's really disorganized, it's useful to like focus on things like that more. Like getting better items, last hitting well, uh getting the objectives, you know. You know, like taking space, for example, doesn't matter as much. There I do QE combo because we're already like playing safe, you know. Jarvan or enemy jungle, I think it was Jarvan this game. Yeah. Enemy jungle, which is Jarvan, could be bot lane right now. Zed is top. I'm just gonna combo. Do a little poke combo on Yunara, back up. One thing is frick. Maybe that's it. I don't remember. Okay, I know what happens here. Regardless of what I was thinking earlier. Yunar hit 6 here before we do because, you know, she got solo XP. So Rel is looking to Q flash me. I kind of like know that they're looking to engage. Like I just react to it wrong. I don't know if I die. I don't really remember. Yeah, I do die. So yeah, this is kind of a mechanical misplay. Tom Kench could have healed, but like, that's just a mechanical misplay. You know, things like this. Oh yeah, Relans too. Things like this, like dying here, I want to say again, you know, sometimes you just mess up. Don't like over stress about it like, oh my gosh, I would win this game if I didn't mess up then. Like, you shouldn't be thinking about the small things like this. Like, they do matter, and if you want to be like the perfect player, you should be mindful of them. But don't over stress about things like that, right? Like, something important would be like, oh my gosh, it was Baron and I wasn't there, or something like that, right? Like, oh, I wasted my combo right before my rel went in, or something. Things that are like close, you don't want to overstress about them. Just want to keep like hitting that home so you guys focus on the important things, right? Like I said, the way mages are going to matter this game are in team fights. So another way you want to think about it is mages matter in team fights. This Yunar, for example, I mean, she will matter in team fights, but mages are more like pigeonholed to mattering in team fights. Like mages will matter a lot in team fights and not a lot in non-team fights. So what that means is other characters like this Yunara kind of want to do more now than I want to do. You know what I mean? Like Yunara right now is focusing on scaling up. I know Yunara is like low key probably a bad champ. So part of the reason we win this game, which we do win, is just because of like draft. Like I don't think Yunara is that great right now. But Frick, man, there's so much to talk about every time I do this, like, talk about the game while I watch a VOD. Here, I know she's in danger. Okay, here, you can see I could have stunned, right? I think if I stunned, I killed. I was honestly, like, really overly safe here. But another useful concept here is, for example, I didn't kill Yunara there, right? But it's kind of the same thing. Like, either way, she's going to recall or lose. She ends up dying here. She's kind of trolling. Like, see, like, I'm not killing her right now, but she's also not walking up for the minions right now. So we're kind of, like, both doing nothing, if that makes sense. Like, she's not getting anything while I haven't killed her yet. And then here I just check to make sure she doesn't have barrier, and she doesn't, so I don't really know what she's doing. And then she dies. And then I know enemy might come, so I just only get 2 plates. If I saw them all still at grubs, of course, I'd, like, get another plate. But yeah. Like, obviously I shouldn't be killing Yunara. This is just because she was down so much CS earlier. One thing is Boots' choice of mages. I just go Sorks this game because, one, I'm solo AP, so they're going to have less magic resist, which makes magic penetration better. Two, they have Jarvan, so I'm not going to be able to move anyway. And three, we have Tom Kench, so if I'm in a pinch, he can help me, you know? He can help me. I don't need the Swifties. Oh yeah, the alternative is Swifties. It's either Swifties or Sork Pen on Syndra. Most mages is Swifties or Sork Boots, right? This is really important, so I'm going to pause here. Wait, let me finish the Boots thought first. Okay, the Boots thought is, if you think you'll need mobility more, go Swifties. If you think you don't need mobility more, just go Sork Boots, which sounds really obvious, but it's really important to think about, do I actually need the mobility this game, or do I actually need a little more damage this game? Right? Like, if the entire enemy team was insanely squishy, it's like, sure, I'll go Sork shoes. Don't even think about it like that. Just think in the moment which boots are more useful. Actually think about it, because it matters a lot which boots you have. If you have the wrong boots, they might live at 1 HP. You might die in a situation where if you had swiftness boots, a little more move speed, you would have lived. It's like game-changing thing. So actually, like, think about your items really well. One thing to note, though, is Swifties is very good with Blackfire Torch and Cosmic Drive, because the Atacon boots for Swifties synergize. But anyway, I'm going to go back here before I keep talking. So here it is when you want to focus really hard on hitting abilities, because I have health Yunara. What I just did is like the power of mages. Besides teamfighting, that is what mages are good at. When you poke the enemy like that, now if I do that again, she's going to die, right? If Yunara was full HP, Rel wouldn't even need to be bought right now. Like, poking people like this, like when I hit Rel a little bit like this, like obviously I don't want to hit her. I don't want to like use everything on Rel because she's a support. But like when you do a little bit of damage, it like adds up, Like this damage adds up, and it's really useful to think about that in lane as well, right? Like say you like land a ability in lane, like Victor E, or even if you're playing an assassin, like you land your Z combo WEQ, for example. Every time you land the combo, like it adds up. So it's really important, just as a mid lane champ in general, to think about like your combo damage adding up. And then here, I know Rel is going to try and Q flash me, because I know she has flash, so I just combo Rel there. I was also just kind of scared of Jarvan being bought. Now we see Jarvan isn't bought, so I kind of walk up. I walked up because Tom Kench has ult, so he's going to ult me. Even if the Rel ult hits, I kind of like just tried to stand a little far away from Tom Kench so he doesn't get CC'd as well, If we're both CC'd, he can't eat me. And then, another useful thing to think about mages. Sorry I'm like going through so much, but there's so much to talk about, I could just do this forever. Me and Tom Kench are stronger here, right? Like, we are stronger than Yunar and Rel just now, which is why it's important as a mage. I know mages have skill shots, right? So it's kind of scary. Like, what if I miss the skill shots? I can still lose if I miss the skill shots. Well, you have to be confident that you can at least hit every skill shot that you should hit, you know? So, important thing about mages is to not be scared. If you are stronger, if you hit your skill shots, then you are stronger. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously it depends on like how easy it is to hit the skill shots, but it's important to not be afraid just because your class uses skill shots. You know what I mean? I could have stayed bot and like pressured Yunara. It was really good, but I just ended up going to the fight. Maybe I don't play this mechanically perfectly, but you know, it's just a macro thing. Like we should just win this fight, and we do. I think we get 2 kills. It's pretty good. And then here, you know, when I'm going bot, I know I'm stronger than Yunara here. I'm not gonna path scaredly. Like, even though my champ has skill shots, you know, let's be honest, mages are really unskilled. Uh, most of your skill shots are unmissable anyway. I don't know why Yunara is like there. That's just it. Yunara just died for no reason. I just walked to cover Zed. So now here, there's 2 objectives up. I stay bot just because feats. I mean, there's so much to think about in League, you know? I stay bot because of feats, but I also know there's 2 objectives up, so it's pretty important to recall as well. I don't think I even get the next bot wave. Yeah. You know, I kill the bot wave really quickly, but there's 2 objectives up. I want to, like, recall, get ready for the objective ASAP. Don't want to dilly-dally. Pantheon hopefully goes bot lane, and he is. Nice. So I'm really strong, right? You know, you can press tab. I'm stronger than Yunara. You know, I might be versus like Yasuo or someone else, but if I'm versus Yunara, I need to think I'm stronger. I should be acting like the stronger one, you know? You can't be scared as a mage. Like I said at the start of this game, it's about team fighting. So until the team fighting starts, I'm kind of just AFK. Same situation, getting poke is really good. So I could have gone to poke Nasus, but that was a situation where you know, it was scary to poke Nasus, right? Like, I wouldn't be poking him under 0 threat. So, you know, take what you can get. Don't, you know, take what's given to you, rather. Here I just try and do some poke. But I do see enemies top, so I don't like use my E willy-nilly as well. See, I could have not gone in for that extra Q, but, you know, the poke adds up. It's really important to do just as much damage as possible. I just ult Yasuo because he used Wind Wall. I mean, I could talk about how I play fights mechanically, but I don't think the fights right now matter. These fights are kind of just won. I think this Pantheon ult's kind of troll, but I just like go with it because not really anything for me to do right now anyway. I do have money for item, right? So I am looking to reset. I might hit this tower. It's like, yeah, no. I want to hit that tower. The only reason I would hit that tower, by the way, is because we have 3 grubs. Like, if you don't have grubs, you should probably not be autoing towers, like, ever under any situation. Also, I could have upgraded boots here. I don't think I even saw that I could have upgraded boots in the moment. But, just for the record, I probably, like, if I thought about it really hard, I wouldn't upgrade boots here anyway. Because upgrading Sork boots is, like, kind of mid compared to just getting Rabadon, right? Here I see Zed is coming from below, so I, like, just positioned to cut off. I don't know what she's doing. She was probably just gonna, like, die to me without Zed being there, is what it looked like. Like she was trying to die for cannon or something. There, I could walk top, but I would walk top there if I didn't think Zed could kill Yasuo by himself. But Yasuo looks very weak up there, so I just assume Zed can just kill him by himself. This isn't really a mage thing, so this is probably for another video, but, you know, on every character in the game, It's all about being efficient and getting stronger. That's basically the name of the game. Like, you can get stronger faster, you know? Like, Zed is power farming. I mean, everyone's trying to farm. Zed is doing the best job currently. Although I do have kills. Here I save my E, because this guy could kill me if I waste it. Don't wanna E until I know I'm safe. Here I E him just because like even if I miss E there, I just walk away, right? Really important thing in solo queue in League of Legends in general, is to not get picked. So like, don't die when you shouldn't die. So there, you know, if I used E, you know, maybe I would have died in a situation where I shouldn't die. That's one of the worst things you can do in terms of winning the game, because most league games are just decided by, uh, like getting picks, right? Like, oh, we killed their jungler, so now we can do Baron, for example. You know, you don't want to be the guy that dies. Honestly, if you're never the guy that dies, that gets picked, you'll just climb, because getting picked is a pretty big part of the game. And yeah, like I said here, I could have bought a pink. My opinion on pink wards, though, is if you're low rank, Zed just ints here. I don't think he saw Yasuo. If you're low rank, you probably just shouldn't buy pink wards. I think they're just not useful in lower rank. Here I know we're stronger than Yasuo, so I can walk up. He kind of goes beast mode though, and almost kills us. But yeah, here, obviously, 2 teammates dead. No matter what happens, probably not gonna win a fight, so I'm not going in that hard. Here, same thing. I feel like Pantheon could have just dashed in. I mean, maybe I probably would have had to flash out anyway, or get Tom Kenchel to like what happened. But I feel like we were kind of scared. But yeah, obviously it's a 3v5. We don't want to fight that hard. And then here, it's kind of like a higher rank concept, but enemy just all did dragon, right? They just want to fight and then did dragon, so they're like really, really down tempo. Like they all have to like walk back and then recall, and then they have to walk to Atacon, so we basically just get Atacon for free. It's kind of just bound to happen in this situation. I could explain it in more detail, but basically our team is just way stronger than theirs. So the fact that they just won something is kind of like a fluke, I guess you could call. I saved my E here and at least one Q in case somehow Jarvan is here in time and I need to like push him away so we secure the thing, right? But yeah, like I said, or like I've been saying, most important thing this game so far, don't get picked. Poke when you can, you know, you take the poke that's given to you, don't int to poke. But, you know, if they give you an opportunity to poke, you should be poking. And then team fighting well. It looks like this might be the first team fight. So even in the team fight, it's kind of the same thing. You want to poke without getting picked. You know, I'm doing a ton of damage, but don't get picked, right? Stay safe. Don't go too far up. Pretty simple. Basically just deal as much damage as you can without taking damage. Pretty simple, right? And then here, you know, Brain is off the team fight. I'm like, all right, now I'm close to Rabadons. So I actually said this at the start of the game. I'm 100 gold off Rabadon, so obviously just stay for Rabadons. I know Yasuo might be in the bush. I don't think anyone else will be in the bush. That'd be kind of inexplicable. So I feel as though if I walk the way I walked, I won't die to Yasuo. Maybe if he like wind walls my E, plays it perfectly, I'd have to flash away. If he plays it perfectly and I play it terribly. But, you know, it's important to think about mechanics when it's time to think about mechanics, you know? But don't like beat yourself up over it, like I said. Pantheon just ults mid here. Honestly, I don't know what was happening this game with some of the characters. But yeah. I only hit this because we have 3 grubs. I mean, honestly, here there's nothing else to do but hit this. But grubs are really important, right? Here, save E. Don't want to waste E because it's just how it works. Here, I think I misplay this. It's kind of obvious what they're going to do. Like, it's obvious Yasuo's going to flash. And it's also obvious he's gonna wind wall my E. So I honestly just like play it really bad and like not predicting his flash or his wind wall. And then there I just int. It's like chill though. It wasn't that bad of an int because team was nearby, right? But I just inted there. One thing you can do on mages is by dark seal. So then, like in a situation like that, you can make sure to not int. So then you can stack your Magi and dark seal. Syndra isn't really a Magi champ, but some mages. I mean, she's not bad with Magi's, but the thing with Magi's on Syndra is it's really easy to stack Magi's and like not die and stuff. Because, you know, she's just a pretty safe character, and most mages in general are just good at, like, using Magi. But, like, when you stack Magi on Syndra, I feel like your damage, like, doesn't even go up that much. So, like, you know, for example, like, I have Rabadon, right? Like, Rabadon is just gonna do as much, if not more, than a stacked Magi, so. Syndra is just kind of a champ. Or her items matter a lot. Getting Magi's is kind of just like, eh. And now, you know, think about mechanics when it's time to think about mechanics. Even though nothing's happening right now, there's a time to think about it. Nothing's happening. How's the next team fight going to go? Well, I have no flash, and I used flash in front of them, so they definitely know I have no flash. You know, I want to play the next fights, keeping in mind that the enemy knows that I have no flash. So Jarvan's going to try to ult me. Rel's going to try to go on me. Pretty sure Rel just flashed too, though. So don't have to worry about Rel flashing. Just have to worry about Jarvan, really. And then here, this is the exact situation where mages are really good. You know, if I can get poke in here before the fight starts, it can like turn the fight. Obviously, I don't want to like do something crazy, but I do want to. Sorry, let me pause. I want to talk about this before the fight starts. I don't want to like int to get poke, but you know, if they give me a chance to poke them, like for example, I want to stun Rel, maybe I can combo Rel, do half her HP. Like that could be game changing, you know? Like I want to take the stuff I can get. I think it's fine to go there just because it's fine to use E there just because you know, it looks like we're not gonna win the fight anyway. So I just like use E. Maybe I can get something. It's whatever. We end up losing this fight, just having to back off. Basically, just don't don't try and get more than what you're allowed to get is the point. Also, thought Rel would hex flash here. She actually went in. I thought like maybe I could like bait her and then kill her, but she just goes in. So then she dies that way. I end up dying. Unlucky. But yeah, I can probably skip a bit. I think they get Baron, we get Dragon. Skip a bit until we're back on the map. I was like going to go Void Staff because they have no magic resist, but they have Nasus, which is a lot of magic resist, so I was like, whatever. I'll just go Void Staff. Team kind of ints there. I don't know why team is inting this game. I would appreciate if they didn't int. But, you know, it's fine. I think a really important concept is that I'm seeing more of this game is, you know, just take what you can get. Obviously, save stun there for when Jarvan gets stunned. Don't want to just waste it. That guy just inted. And then they're fighting here, or Pantheon's ulting here. It's like, alright, I guess we can go. Save stun for Pantheon stun, it works out. Nice. And then I know Nasus might be here, so I play this, saving my E. No, I don't save E. But I do, like, position back, you know, so. Stay super far back. And then same thing, you know. Don't be scared. Even though your champ is skill shots, you can still go in, you know. Also, that's a Syndra thing you can do. I'll go back for a second. This won't take long. You can throw your W and Q at the same time, but a bit spread out, so then your stun won't miss. Pretty classic Syndra thing, although I don't see it that often. And then, don't be scared, don't want to... I am stronger than him here, even though it's skill shots, right? So... And then Nasus dies. Pretty good. I've infinite cash. I'm an absolute trillionaire now. Just great spot for me. Even though we lost Baron, we lost like 2 fights in a row, You don't have to rush. You don't have to try and do something that you can't do, I go Leandris here. Maybe Riftmaker would be better. Nah, but because it's like a bigger percent than Leandry. I went Leandry because it's like a percent increase. I feel like this is the best item here. Maybe like maybe another magic pen item would be fine too. I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I see team is fighting up here. I could TP, but I kind of figured they would like win without me. And even if I TP in, it's like I wouldn't really be in a great position anyway. So I just walk over. In another world, I definitely TP over, right? But yeah, great way to think of how to teamfight as Syndra. The game's not over yet, by the way. Great way to think of how the teamfight as Syndra is just get damage in, without taking damage, evaluate like what's the risk here if I go to take damage. Wait, the game's not over, is it? Yeah, no. We get 2 inhibs, and then I think Baron respawns. And then there's a team fight for Baron, and then we end off that team fight. I'll just go to that team fight. Maybe there's 2. I don't really remember. I don't think the game lasts that much longer. And then here I'm walking up because I know I'm not in danger. Really, the only danger right now is Rel flashing on me just because like I have flash, so everything else I can react to. If Jarvan ults, I just flash out. But if Rel combo hits me, I'm not going to be able to flash while I'm stunned. Here, I kind of dance here because I thought maybe. So I know they're like sitting in the bush up here on the map. I'm like holding my cursor here. In this bush. I thought maybe they'd like walk around. So I was just kind of like waiting here to like maybe I can like hit them right here. So I'm waiting here for a bit. But they just don't show, so I'm like, alright, whatever. We have to walk in the Baron, but they can't start, and then we see them all below. Basically, same thing that I just said, Basically, only way they win, or not only way they win, but they really want to just flash on me. So, don't walk up too far. I see Rel on Baron here, so. I just got my eyes on the people looking at me, right? Rel flashes on me, I flash away. Jarvan knows I have no flash, he goes like really far though. Here I just ult, because then if you ult before you eat a Syndra, you can stun. Okay, I want to go here though, because this is what I'm thinking in the moment. So right now I'm like, I want to ult, so then I can E. So I just get an ult target, Nasus, and then I E. And then as soon as I combo Yasuo here, as soon as I throw this W, I know he's dead, or at least he's flashing out, either one. So I know Yasuo is dead, and they look low HP, right? Like I'm low HP, but they look low HP. And the only way they can win here is if they do Baron. So in this fight, I'm like really not trying to like the fight doesn't have to be won, right? Like it's kind of already won, you could say. So just looking at this position, it's like even if they run away, what are they gonna do, right? So they can't really like I'm not the one on a timer here, like right? Like the minions are pushing into their base and they're gonna end if they take too long. But the point is that's not even that important. Even if this wasn't happening, the important part is they're not going to be able to do Baron anymore unless I die. So the important part right now from this moment is that I really don't die. And here I'm just like going just because like it looks possible. And then we end up winning. And the game's won like that. But that team fight could have gone wrong, right? Like I think a lot of these team fights could have gone south a lot more, and then we could have lost the game like that. So the important part is just playing the fights well. You know, like I said, you want to take what's given to you. You don't have to like do anything like crazy. Like you don't have to like. Basically, you don't want to try to do things that you shouldn't be able to get away with. Oh, the Zed was L. Skyler. You want to just take what's given to you and do it well. Focus on doing your job, you know? Uh, yeah, I mean, I could keep talking, but I guess I could just do that in another video. Probably make more of these eventually. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something about how to play mages. I know I didn't talk about my mage thought process that hard. Or I mean I did, but like there's so much to talk about, it feels like I didn't. But yeah, if you have any questions, obviously feel free to ask them in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching and have a great day.